Hi, everybody, beautiful artists. I am just playing today with a little technique that I use a lot at night just to, like I said, play and explore. And it's just kind of double dipping my brush. I will give you a little forewarning when you do this. I don't typically do this straight from my palette. I will put the paints in my ceramic palette and double dip in there because it can get a little bit messy. So if I'm going into a yellow and a red, I might get the red and the yellow and the red. So I usually do this on a separate palette. I am, by the way, using my MeiLiang paints. I say this all the time. I'm kind of a lazy painter, so I have Winsor Newtons. I can't afford to paint with them every day. So I like the MeiLiangs because they are a lot less expensive. I have the tubes now, I can refill them. And they've got great colors, you guys. They're really rich and creamy and also transparent. And look at all the colors they have. Such a great variety. So if you're a lazy painter like me, you don't have to mix these colors. And they're really reasonable. So I love those. That's my beginner's tip. I'm using today my Princeton 8 Neptune. I will tell you it's a softer brush. I love my Velvet Touch. It's a little snappier, but I have been trying to do something different. And so I've been using this 8 Neptune. Feel free to use any round brush you have. This Degato set is fabulous for beginners. You get let's see, maybe 10 of them for like $12. So if you don't want to invest in one brush, the Princeton, these are a great set. I use these all the time. I've had them for about a year. The point's still gorgeous on them, and they're totally worth the money. And by the time they start wearing out, you'll probably be ready, if you decide to keep painting, to invest in maybe a $10, $11 Princeton brush. Again, my favorite's the Velvet Touch because it's a little snappier and I love the feel, and it's a short handle, just my preference. But I am using the Neptune, which is softer, and when a brush is softer, it's gonna hold more pigment and water. So just being careful with that, making sure you're tapping off your brush before you go to your paper. If you don't want to hear any more supplies, I'm just going to share the paper real quick. You can fast forward or even mute me. You won't hurt my feelings. I am painting on, as you know, I love these Artisto pads. Fabulous. Again, my go-to for students, my art classes, and what I recommend, not only because they're really, really affordable, and I've tried every paper, you guys, but they have a great texture. They do really well with a lot of water, and they're kind of nice because you can keep them in these spiral notebooks. I have dozens of these, and just label them, the year, the month, flowers, palettes, colors, whatever you want to name them. So I'm just playing today. And I think the colors I'm going to use, I was trying to think. I think what I want to use is some blues and greens. So I've got kind of a dark blue in here, which I'm not sure I'm liking that dark blue. I used it for a sky the other day. So I'm just going to soak that up. And yes, my palette is by Miss Ceramics. But you guys, I've been buying these for years. I'm not affiliated with her, and I don't think right now she's making them. They're too time consuming. I've bought dozens over the years, but they are fun. I get to design them, and she puts my flowers on them, my name on them. Okay, so the blue I'm going to use, maybe I'll even play with some metallics here. By the way, you can get the smaller MeiLiang set. This is the larger one that has the metallics, but you can buy the palette that just has the regular pigments on it. So let's go into, let's try this blue. I think I want a brighter blue. Let's go for the turquoise. And yes, I just went into another paint with some color on my brush, but that light blue won't hurt this. And notice when I'm loading my brush, I'm loading it from the side. I'm not going in with the point and ruining my point. So I'm going to put that in there, get rid of all the pigment in my brush, maybe add a little bit of water. So I've got a decent little puddle there. And then let's see, let's get some yellow. I think that would be fun. Oh, see, I didn't rinse my brush, guys. No, that was a boo-boo. It's kind of funny because I watch some artists and that doesn't bother them not to, you know, to kind of mix their colors. It makes me crazy, you guys. I don't know why. And I think today I may need to clean my palette because it's getting a little out of control. But I don't know why, but I hate mixing my colors in here together. I don't know why that bothers me. Okay, so I've got some yellow in here. I've got some blue. Let's start with that. So what I'm gonna do, and then I've got my wash water and my rinse water. So 2 containers of water. Now I dirtied them up, but 1 to wash, 1 to rinse. Really important so you don't carry over whatever color you're using into your next color. I love these MeiLiang wash wells because I have dumped 1 too many plastic red Solo cups. And it's a disaster, you guys, I'll tell you. So let's just play. What I'm gonna do is I am going to go into, and I'm actually going to start on here. So I'm gonna take my brush. I've gotten it washed, cleaned, rinsed, and then scraped off some of the paint. I'm going to take one side of my brush and put it in the blue. I'm flipping it over and I'm going to pick up some yellow. Now I'm getting some yellow on there. So one side's yellow, one side's blue. This is so fun. This is the kind of stuff I do at night when I'm just playing. And I'm going to go in and just start doing some fun designs. So point, press, look how fun that is. Is that the most gorgeous color? This is originally, I think, why I fell in love with watercolors years ago when I was a little girl. And I'm just gonna fill this whole page. Maybe get my brush wet a little bit. I'm just point press, point press, point press. Look at the beautiful color when you double dip like that. Every time I say that, it reminds me of the, what was the sitcom? It was Seinfeld, and they had a whole, I'm going on a tangent here, a whole show on double dipping. I thought it was so funny. Okay, so I'm just doing a point press, and you can kind of vary them, maybe get a little more yellow. Look at how beautiful this is. And what a great way to practice this technique. So flipping my brush over side to side, and the beautiful colors you can get. Like that. And you can practice long strokes, short strokes, whatever you want. But this is a great way to point press, opening the belly to get that wider area. And these are the brush strokes we use for flower petals and long leaves. And it's fun. So if you're kind of like, oh, I want to paint something. I don't necessarily want to just practice brush strokes. This is a good way to do it because you can create something here. So point, press, point, press, point, pull, press. Like this. Create maybe some little ones. Flip my brush over, pick up the paint. You can even do some dabs in here, like that. One of the things I love about watercolors is I love mixing them on my painting, not just mixing them in here, because if I mix together my blue and red, I'm sorry, blue and yellow, geez. I would get green, but what fun. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Let me pick up a little bit more yellow for there. So rinse and wash my brush, pick up some of that yellow. Now I forgot what I was saying, guys. I tell you, sometimes I go upstairs to look for something, and I get up there and I forget what I went up there to look for. Okay, so point press. There's that double color, double loading your brush. Just like that. What a great practice. And the colors, you can, you know, when you play like this is when you're going to discover some really pretty effects and colors. Now let's practice lightening the value. So I add a little bit more water. I'm tapping off and playing with a lighter value. Just 2 C strokes here. And look at how fun that is. And I mean, actually, this is kind of pretty. You could almost just frame and mat this, guys. And it would look like a abstract. Pick up a little bit more blue. So I'm at the end of my, bottom of my page here, my paper, and I think I'll go back in and just rinse wash and maybe do some light values in here just to keep playing a bit. See what we can get. I'm going to add a tiny bit more blue. Maybe some small ones. And again, when you play like this is when sometimes you will come across some of your best techniques and create some really pretty things. And you'll be surprised. So there you go. That's all I was going to share with you today, is that double dipping and how fun that can be. And then just going in and using this as a way to practice those brush strokes. Because if you can master this brush stroke, you can paint any petal, any leaf. You'll be good to go. And I think this is kind of fun and pretty too. And if you do this at night, it can be really kind of calming and no expectations and just a fun little practice. So there you go. I hope that was fun for you. So many different colors. You could do blue and purple like me, yellow and a bright blue. Add some metallics, which maybe, you know, in the evening I just play. So I might go in and just pick up some of this metallic and then go over this. That's pretty. See, this is what I do. I go to end a video and then I end up thinking of something else. Look how beautiful that is. Truly, this would be a pretty piece to frame. You could even do an entire card like this. Right now, maybe with some little hearts in red. Look how pretty. Let me hold that up so you can see that fun blue metallic. I think that would be a really pretty card. All right, everybody, I'm going to keep playing here. Grab your brush, play, go hike like I do, look for pretty things to paint, and above all, just have fun. And I will see you again soon. Thanks for being part of my little community here. Love you guys. You're so fun, so inspiring. You bring me so much joy every day, and I'll see you soon.